Hello, my name's Gavin Baker and this is my submission for Assignment 3 of Coursera's Introduction to Music Production. Today I'm going to present how to configure parallel effects in Studio One, the DAW. Now first we're going to have a quick look at the signal flow in this setup. So we're going to have two main instruments, the drums and the guitar, and they are both instrument tracks and they have their own separate inputs, and the normal dry mix will come out on the regular output controlled by the faders, and that will go into the main mix and off to the monitors or our destination recording. Then we'll set up an auxiliary track, and that track will have the reverb configured on it, and we'll send a certain amount of the drums and the guitar to that auxiliary track to have the reverb applied, and then that will end up with its own mixer which gets mixed into the main mix. So this is the dry instruments and this is the wet reverb. So we can see here that we don't want to have any of the dry sound coming out of the auxiliary track. That's why we need to set this to 100% wet, because otherwise we could be getting cancellations with the original dry instrument tracks. And so in this way we're using the one reverb unit for multiple tracks. So let's have a quick look at the project here. We've got a very basic song. There's just a few parts. There's drums, bass, guitar and lead. And let's just have a quick listen. Now there's no proper mix or effects yet, and so that's what we're going to do next, is set up the parallel effects so that we can apply reverb to the drums and the guitar. So now we're ready to get started. We'll go into mix mode, so we click here and bring up our mixing controls. So here we have the faders for all the different tracks and the mute and solo controls and so on. And so we can just come over here and right click and then say add effects channel, and now we have an effects channel, and we can insert an effect just by hitting the plus key here. So let's choose the mix verb, and up comes the controls for our plugin. We just make sure that the mix is at 100% so that we get fully wet sound. And if we were to play that now, we wouldn't hear any extra reverb because we haven't sent any of the channels across yet. So let's pick the drums, which is over here. Now here's where we can add a send. If we just hide this for a moment, if we just play the drums now, I'll solo the drums, and let's have a quick listen. Okay, so now let's add a send. We click on here and we say we want to send to FX1, which is the reverb, and now that comes up at a default level, and it also comes up as a post fader send. So now let's have a listen to what we've got with a bit of reverb. Okay, that sounds quite different. Now let's pull it back. There's fully dry. Let's crank it right up. Oh, and we get some very interesting effects there. So maybe we don't want it quite so heavy. Something like that sounds pretty good. Now we can do the same thing to the guitar. So we'll unsolo that and collapse its little settings there, and we'll apply to the lead guitar. We'll add send to FX, and let's go back to start here and play that. Okay, so this is the section that we want to listen to. Let's solo the guitar and just play that again. Oops, that was soloing a different track. Of course I meant here. Solo the guitar and play that back. That's a pretty cool sound. Let's listen to the whole thing. So, we've just seen how to create parallel effects in Studio One. We did that by creating a new effects track, selecting the tracks that we wanted to add the effects to and sending it to that track and adjusting the level. Thanks for watching.